And what's up guys, my name is Paget and welcome to our gearing episode. This is going to be our interlude episode between episode 1 and 2 of our playthrough. And if you guys want to see me gear this character and set him up ready for our playthrough, then it's coming right up. And welcome back guys to the interlude episode, and today we are going to be gearing our Sith Juggernaut. Now he is obviously a tank and we need him to look fearsome, and I have sent a little something over from one of my characters that I've just bought because I didn't have the full armor set that I wanted, and as I put the armor on my Sith I'm going to describe why he has that armor piece and why he's going to look the way that he does. Now he doesn't look like a conventional Sith that you would see in Swtor or even see around the fleet. This is kind of just a bunch of random armor I've put together, and I think it looks really decent. I think it suits the lore of the Sith character. Siths, well, modern Siths these days are not your typical Siths. They're a mix of dark side Jedi that went rogue and a mix of the original Sith species that was on Korriban, and that's why they now look like humans, with the human sort of complexion rather than the big brute monster like sort of Sith that you would originally see. But we're going to jump straight into it. Obviously we have this armor piece. Now from this armor we only want the chest piece, but I am going to put it all on because I want to unlock it so that I can come back at a later date and get the armor set from the cartel market. But he's not going to be wearing all of this. As I said, we literally do just want the armor piece here. Now if we go into the cartel market, I do have the rest of the armor that I want. If we go into armor and collected, it's the Reaver's armor set. That's what I want. Collect that. Now for color crystal, he is Sith, and you typically see a Sith with a red lightsaber, so he is going to have the red and black lightsaber just to show the darkness of the character and how evil he is. And for the lightsaber, if we go into 2, no, is it in 2? I think it's in 2 in collected. Yeah, there it is. We're going to have the Reckoning exposed lightsaber. Now I am going to explain why I've picked all these items when we get into putting it all on. So if I just quickly chuck the pieces on that I want on, we are going to chuck the head slot on. Oh, we've been invited to something. Welcome to outfit designer character sheet. No, we don't want that. Right, so we're going to go to here, unify colors. Actually doesn't look that bad, but we don't want the head slot. That's going to be hidden. That's just so we can upgrade it in the future. And so it's there. Obviously we can't put the color crystal on until we've gotten further in the game, but that is fine. Right, so we now have our Sith warrior all set up. There we go, that's his armor. And if I just zoom out a bit so you can see his legs and his boots, and with his lightsaber out, that is what our Sith Juggernaut is going to be looking like, guys. And if I just get rid of all this because it's not usable and we can't sell it either because we got it from the cartel market, that is sellable. I mean, it's only give us a couple of credits, but a couple of credits is a couple of credits at this level. So there we are. This is the armor that we have picked. Now I'm going to explain to you why I've picked each piece of armor. Is that going to move? There we go. Move that to here for a minute. Now the reason why I picked the Reckoning's exposed lightsaber is because when you put it away, like so, I gotta stop doing that, you can actually see the crystal in the lightsaber. Is it gonna let us see it? Might not be able to see it in this armor. There it is. You can actually see, oh, the camera's playing up. You can actually see the crystal inside the lightsaber. So when we've got that red and black crystal inside the lightsaber, you're gonna be able to see it. And I think when he pulls it out, I believe you can see it as well. There it is. You can see the beam going through the crystal, and that's what we want. As a Sith warrior, he would not have built his lightsaber the typical way. He would have built it himself, and he would have built it out of parts he could have found. Especially being an apprentice, and I've just got to the Korriban temple. He's gonna have He's going to have a home-built lightsaber, which is why he's got the exposed lightsaber, because it's missing pieces, he hasn't got all the coverings, and I just thought this lightsaber made sense for this character. Maybe in the future we'll get him a new lightsaber, mix it up as if he's managed to build himself a better lightsaber. We may do that, give him different color crystals every now and then, you know, as he upgrades himself, as he goes through the missions and the storyline. Now we gave him Sion's chest piece, as you can see. Now the reason why I gave him the Sion chest piece, as I explained earlier, the Sith species are built around their strength, and the original Sith, as I said, were brutes. They were big, huge, monster looking Sith, and they were warriors. They wore very little armor because they were tribal and bigger than average species. So yeah, so I gave him the Sion armor piece because it doesn't cover much of him. He's got the big shoulder piece, he's got the big forearm section, and I just believe that brings out the brute warrior phase of the Sith out in his character, because at the end of the day he might not be a pure blood Sith, but he is all Sith the same, and we're going to make him look like a Sith as much as possible. Now the reason why I went with the Reaver's legs, the Reaver's boots, and the Reaver's gauntlets, and the Reaver's wrist guards, the reason why we went with them is because they're very out there, it's very in your face, and once again, being a Sith warrior, he's going to have the big bulky armor, he's going to look like a brute, and I want Jedi to be scared of him as he's going near them. And once again, it's also to bring the evilness out on our character, make him look that a little bit more like a murderer. He's not going to look clean, he's not going to look like the best of people, he is going to look scary, and he's going to bring fear into our enemies. Now another thing I want to go over is the settings. I don't know how many of these settings would have came over with the other characters that I have, but I wanted to go through the settings with you guys, because I feel like that's something I should do. Like, you know, you're a part of this story. If you're here watching this interlude video, it means you want to be involved in the storyline. You want to know what's going on in between the storyline and the missions and the heroics and everything like that. So this is going to be that video where you get to see all this stuff. So all that looks fine. I never really mess with controls and fly text anyway. Combat login's fine. Sound is fine. We've got the music volume off. Yeah, that's all fine. Chat. No, chat is fine again. I will make this personalized. I will show you afterwards how I'm going to do that. Actually, I might do that in another interlude video, because it's going to be a while before we're dealing with things like that. Graphics, yeah, that's perfect. It's mainly the user interface I mess with. It's in here. We do not want to show tutorial alerts. We do not want to skip any movies. We want to show conversation alignment while we're in missions. We want to be doing that. Exterior map defaults to world map. No, we don't want that. Enable magnifying glass in world map. No, we don't want that on. I think a lot of this has come over from my other characters. We want to show cooldown text. We want that extra little bit of style. I like style 5 personally, and I like to make it a little bit smaller, and I like to show every 0.2 of a second. That's usually what I go with. And I think everything else here is fine. Nameplates. Yeah, I have a low amount of nameplates show up, because when I'm going through as a playthrough and I'm focusing on the storyline, I don't like to see the nameplates on top of my enemies until I'm fighting them. I like to be able to look at the world map and see it for what it is. As you'll see here, the core slugs down there, they do not have their nameplates until I click on them. And I just feel like that adds to the aesthetics of a playthrough. It adds to the storyline. It makes you feel like you're a part of the storyline and you haven't got all these nameplates and labels everywhere sort of blocking the screen, taking the natural beauty away from the game. So that's one reason why I do not have that all turned on in my settings. Now we are going to come down here. No, we're not. We're going to go into user interface, and we're going to go on to Pogan 2, I believe. That's the one I usually go with. Is it going to change? No, it didn't change. Why didn't it change? I wonder if I do it here. Pogan 2. There we go. That's how I like that setup. And yeah, so I have my health percentage here. This is one thing I like to have set up, is the health percentage. And we're going to go into preferences again. No, not preferences. User interface. And I'm going to click on this and just make sure it's how I want it. Make sure the show text information is on. I really do love having the text information on. This bar down here, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, about that big. I want all the slots, obviously. I want all those slots, and then I want it as a 2-row, and I want to just sneak that in there, just like that. Now the reason why I like that quick bar there is because while I'm playing the game, I like to have all my quick travel things there. So as we go through the game, we'll make credits. As we'll make credits, we will be sticking things in there like all the different speeders we get, all the different quick travels we can get from our legacy, like getting to Odesson and all those other planets in the future, Yavin 4. Getting to them just by going to that sidebar there and clicking on them. And occasionally I stick some of my moves down there, like this one here. I will stick it down there because it only just gives me my buffs here from completing all the characters, because I have completed every single character in this game. And so I like to keep that quick bar down there. Now, I do like this active, but I do not like it that big. I like it that big like that, and I do like to enable it, but I like to put it just in the bottom here, like so. And I like to just do that as well, because I like to know who it's targeting when I get into things like heroics and flashpoints and we're doing it with other players. That would be what I use, so I can see if like say a boss is targeting one of the other players and not me. Because I'm a tank, I need to know who the enemies are targeting. I need to know they're targeting me and not my teammates, and so that is why I have that on at all times. If you're not a tank, you probably don't need to have it on, because at the end of the day, you're not going to need to know who the enemy is attacking, because the tank should be on that before you realize, I guess is the best way of putting it. So we're going to save that, and I always put my jump as number 1, and then I have my normal attack as number 2, and then I have my vicious slash as number 3, and this is what I'm on about. My rocket boost, which I get from my legacy, it's not something I choose whether I get or not, it's just something that literally comes through because of my legacy perks. So we do have rocket boost in this playthrough. I might not use it that much, the same as I might not use speeders too much either, so you guys can take in the full natural beauty of the game and soak in the storyline. And I might take on a lot of the mobs as well. I'm going to try not to skip too many mobs and give you guys the full run through of the game. Now, I think there's one last thing we need to do. So we've done our interface editor, we've done our preferences, we've set up all that, we have kind of set up our taskbar. That can go down there. Do I want to put channel hatred down? Yeah, channel hatred can also go down there. And we are going to we're going to go through the emails. I do not collect everything from these straight away. The complimentary boost is always a good. Yeah, Nico Akar, we will take that. He comes with all his stuff anyway. We're not going to use it. What else? I mean, droids. We will take the droids. Anything like speeders, I will leave there for now because we can't accept them to a level 10. So I just leave them in my inbox because there's no point taking up my character space when I literally cannot use them. So they are just literally going to take up space in my character. The titles we can use up. Rishi Idol we can't use once again. I've got so many. The party Jawa, everyone takes the party Jawa. I mean, I know people that don't, but why not? It's a little party Jawa that you can have for a little animation. I don't know why you wouldn't take it. So yeah, we're just going through the emails now. Obviously there are some things I'm not taking due to the fact that they're just going to take up inventory space for the moment, so we're not taking them. We are going to take that. We're going to take the title. I mean, there is one title you get 2 of. Yeah, that one. So this one we can simply just delete. Yeah, that's fine, get rid of that. And then the last two ones, the carbonite, which is a kind of cool one to have, and the droid. So there we go. If I go into inventory and I go like this, we're just going to collect. We're obviously not going to put the boost on until I start the next episode. And we're not going to get Nico a car until the next episode. And we're not going to use the carbonite or anything like that until the next episode either. But we are going to quickly accept all these titles and all the stuff that we can get. It might even level us up. I don't think it will, but it might. The title, the first galactic starfighter. I don't think we're ever going to use any of these, if I'm honest. The Jawa, I can go over in the corner here. As you can see, the reason why I did not pick up the rest of the items is because we have limited item space, and I want to be able to collect items as we go around to sell them on in the vendors and things like that, so that we're not missing out on money. So we can set our companions off as well to sell the items. Now, I have set myself some rules, guys, and the first rule is I'm not going to collect any of the companions like Darth Hexid, the creatures that I have, or Nico Akar until I am level 10. Now the reason for this is because I want to experience the storyline, I want to experience the combat, I want you guys to experience the combat. If I bring in a companion before level 10, before we get our first companion at level 10, or around about that level, we are not going to experience Korriban as it is. We're not going to experience it for the combat or anything like that, the combat that you're meant to get from it as you level up on Korriban, and I just feel like that's the right thing to do. The second rule is I'm not going to send this character credits. This character will purely make its credits off my trading methods, the trading methods that I use. And so yeah, any perks this character gets or armor, apart from this armor I've just given him, he will have no more armor from any other character unless it's in my cartel market. And so you have no credits. He will not have any crafting help unless it's obviously from here. There's not really a lot I can do about that because obviously all of it's together, but any crafting he does will be done from here. Whichever crew skills I go for, I will probably not do on my other characters, or if I do any crafting on other characters and stuff, I will take a lot of it away so that this character is not benefiting from it so much, so that it is all grinded from this character. And so yeah, I'm going to be showing you crafting, credit making, everything like that when I reach level 10 and I unlock things like that. What else? And there was something else and I've forgotten what it is. Oh, that's it. And we are going to be using our character titles as we go through the game. Every time we unlock a new rank, I have to put it on. So as we're not going to put our legacy title on, we are just going to put, obviously we haven't unlocked it yet, we're going to get Apprentice Paget Gaming, or no, Acolyte Paget Gaming when it comes up. And we're going to put our flare on, legendary status, to show players that we have finished every single storyline in the game. And yeah guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video. So this is what our character is looking like at the end of the first video. And so yeah guys, if you liked this interlude video where I showed you my settings, I showed you my interface, how I've got my interface set up, and how I've got my character set up as a tank, and how I have my interface set up to benefit him as a tank, like having the extra target, like the target of the target that I'm looking at, because I'm a tank, I obviously need to know who my enemy is focused on and things like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like down below if you did, and leave a comment down below anything I might have missed, anything you think I should have shown you, anything you think that you'd like to see that I haven't shown you and I can show you in the next interlude video, maybe in a couple episodes time when we're setting him up again, maybe at level 10 when we're setting his crafting up and everything and things like that. So yeah, leave your suggestions and ideas down below, or even if you just enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below. And if you really did enjoy the video, you can subscribe, click on the bell, and you'll get notified every time I upload an episode of this series. So yeah guys, it's been Paget. I'll catch you on the next one, and peace.